welcome back. This is lesson 11.2, surface area using nets. I will be able to correctly calculate the surface area of prisms using nets. Okay, vocabulary for this lesson. We've already done all these in the previous lesson, but we'll do a quick reminder. A solid figure is a three-dimensional figure. It has length, width, and depth. A base of a solid figure is the basic shape. A surface is the flat part on the outside of the figure. Face is any flat side. Lateral face is any face that's not the base. Prism is a three-dimensional figure that has two bases that are congruent to each other and the rest are rectangular sides. A pyramid has one base and the rest are triangular faces that come to a point. A net is the flat rendition of all the surfaces on a three-dimensional figure, and surface area is the one that we are going to add to our vocabulary page. So if you'll pull out the second page of the chapter 2 vocabulary. Okay, let's add to this. Surface area. Surface area is the total area of all the faces, all the surfaces of a three-dimensional figure or object. Covering the outside in tiles or wrapping paper. Okay, it's always measured in square units. So you have already spent so much time learning how to find the area of a bunch of shapes. All you're doing today is now figuring what shapes are on a three-dimensional one and putting them all together. So let's go ahead and go back to what we were working on. So we're going to look at how we can see the surface area from a net. So looking at this figure over here, this would be a three-dimensional rectangular prism. It would have 6 sides. Okay, we have the top, the bottom, the left, the right, the front, the back, and we're going to find the total surface area. We're going to start by creating a net for it on this grid paper so you can see it. So, from what I can see, I have a top. So if I start with the top and I were to cut it off, that could be my base. So my base would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares in there. 2 by 3. So on here, I want you about here in the middle. Let's make a rectangular that is 2 by 3 units. So this right here would be the top or bottom. I think I'm going to call it the bottom because they're the same, but it helps me to think about folding it out like a box. So this is the bottom. So the bottom has a area of 6 squares, 2 times 3. Now, if we were to fold that out, I've got the front and the back, which are going to be the same size. Now, let's look at that. The front has a base of 3, which is why it's going to be along this side. And it has a height of 1, 2, 3, 4. So, if I was folding it out, it's going to go 4 from there. I'm going to label it. This is the front. Now the front has an area of what? 3 times 4, or you could count in here that there are 12 squares. So 3 times 4 gives me that should have been on front. Oops. 3 times 4 equals, that gives us an area of 12 units squared. Make sure we're labeling stuff. Okay, I'm going to draw the back, which is just the opposite side, so it's going to come off this direction from the bottom. So that would be 4 units this way, 3 units this way. So that's the back. So we've got the back, and that has an area of 3, 6, 9, 12, or 3 times 4, which is 12 units squared. Now, I've done this one, and the bottom. There's 3 of our sides. We still have 3 more to go. I'm going to do the right side now. The right is 2 units wide and 4 units tall. So here's my 2 units wide. Let's go 4 units tall. And this would be the right side. And it has an area of 2 times 4, which is equal to 8 units squared. The left side is going to be the exact same, 4 units tall, 2 units wide. So 2 times 4, which gives me 8 units squared. Now the last one we have is the top, because there's 6 sides to this, and I can write the top off of any of these. Just to line it up here, I'm just going to put the top up here. So this will be the top. We could have drawn it over here, we could have drawn it down here. It doesn't matter, as long as it's all drawn correctly. So this would be the top. And the top has measurements of 2 by 3. And that gives us 6 units squared. So the total surface area would be 6 plus 6 plus 8 plus 8 plus 12 plus 12. So I'm going to make this easy on myself. 12 plus 8 is 20. So that's 20. That's 20. So there's 40 together right here. 40 plus 12 is 52. So that would be a total surface area of 52 units squared. If we wanted to, we could come over here and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, and 52 square tiles that would cover the outside. However, luckily we know how to find area, and we can make that a lot easier on ourselves. Alright, let's try this one. What shapes do we have? This would be a triangular prism. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. 3 of those are rectangles, 2 of them are triangles. Okay, it's easiest for me to visually start from drawing the bottom. So if this is 4 inches by 4 inches, we're going to draw the bottom to be 4 inches. So let's do 4 of these squares to represent 4 inches. So there's this 4 inches, and now this direction I'm going to do 4 inches. So this would be the bottom of my shape. So the bottom is 4 by 4. It's a rectangle. So that's going to give me 16 inches squared. This isn't just units, this is inches. Now let's see what else we have. We did the bottom. So we could do the front and the back, which are triangles. So if the front, so it looks like this was 4. That means that this would be 3. See where I'm getting that from? 3, because if I laid it flat, it would come out 3 this way. So we know that's a nice right triangle. And that would be our front. The area of the front is a triangle, so I'm going to do base times height, which is 3 times 4, then half of that. So 3 times 4 is 12, but half of that would be 6. So that must be 6 inches squared for the area. Okay, the back is the same size triangle. I'm going to go 3 this direction because it's going to look opposite if I lay it flat. So 3, and I'm still going to connect to here. So there's the back. And the back is the same triangle, so it's still going to be 3 times 4, then half of that. And that gives me 6 inches squared for it as well. Okay, the left side looks like a rectangle. It's 4 inches wide and 3 inches tall. So I've already got the 4 here, so I'm going to go 3 inches this direction. So there's going to be another rectangle. And that rectangle is 3 by 4. This is the left side. So rectangle 3 times 4 is going to give me 12 inches squared. The right side or top, depends how you look at this. I see it as a top, so I'm going to cross off the right. The right side doesn't exist on this one, to me. But the top connects to the left side. So I'm going to draw this is 5 inches by 4 inches. So 4 is already here. I'm going to go out 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Represent that rectangle. So that would be the top. And that's a rectangle 4 times 5. That gives me an area of 20 inches squared. So you can see from the net where we're getting each of these areas from. Now the total surface area, we just have to add them up. You know how to find the area of triangles and rectangles, which we've already done. Now we just have to add it up. So 20 plus 16, let's see, 20 plus 16 will give me 36, 37, 38, 48. 48 plus 6 gives me 54, and 54 plus 6 more gives me 60. So this has a total surface area of 60 inches squared. In other words, if we were to cover it in tiles, which you can see the square tiles, if I were to place them all over the outside, I would need 60 of those to cover it. Okay, rate yourself on this concept. How do you feel about drawing a net and finding the surface area? 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Take a picture and turn it in on Google Classroom.